Hi guys, how are you doing? This is Redstone Ninja here, and today I have another amazing Minecraft slash Redstone slash command block video for you. Today we're going to be building something called the command sequencer. Now it may sound a little boring at first, but it's actually very useful. So why don't we just cut chit chat and get straight on with the redstone. Okay, so here we are on our brand new world, and what is the first thing we're going to do in here? Well, the first thing is to get that off, because that's annoying. Nope, that's not the one. Nope, that's not it. That's the one. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is turn this off so it doesn't cause lag. I think I made a button thing. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so the command sequencer. Basically, you give it one input. You just give it the one input, and then it does a bunch of commands in the order that you want it to do. It's completely customizable. You can, set the delay, how many commands you want to run, how long you want to run each command for. It's very, what's the word? Functional. It's very functional. It does what it's supposed to do. I would hope so. But it's also you got a lot of control with this one. You can change all the things I just said. Command underscore block. So let's get the command block. The first thing you want to do is create yourself your fill block. Press fill tilde 1 tilde stone. Nope, that's not right. Tilde 1 tilde stone. Slash fill tilde -1 tilde -1 tilde redstone underscore block. Okay, now we're going to extend that later on, because at the moment it's only going to do the one block, but this is actually going to be a line of command blocks. And now what we're going to need, first of all, we're going to need the sequencing commands. This is what you want your contraption to actually run. So I'm going to be pretty boring. I'm going to have mine say 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order in the middle of the screen / title, and there they are. So however many commands you want it to run, that's where you put first of all. It doesn't matter what order you put them in, but I like to put those ones first. The next one you're going to need is one here and one here. I think that's right. Yep, that's right. Yeah, so that's it actually. I've forgotten it was so small. Towards -Z. So see what I just did there with the F3? You can actually check in 1.8 which direction it's in, which is super helpful. I don't even know what I'm talking about. -Z. So we're actually going 1, 2, 3 in the -Z direction. So that is -3 on Z. So if we go to X, Y, Z. Keep the first one the same, X, Y, Z, -3, and same for the top, -3. And now you can see we're running all of these commands simultaneously 20 times per second. That's once every game tick, I think, not once every redstone tick. Quite fast, these things. So first of all, you're going to want to create a scoreboard, and how you do that is, well, you do that by doing /scoreboard. First of all, no catches so far. So scoreboard objectives, because we're changing an objective. Add, because we're adding an objective. And then the name of your objective. I'm just going to call mine counter, because we're counting, yeah? Counter A, perhaps, just in case I want to counter B in the future, future-proofing myself. And the last thing you're going to want is dummy. Now what that means is, the only way to update this scoreboard is by using the command block. But basically, that's all I ever use scoreboards for anyway. So yeah, I never really need to use the other ones. And so you want to come to the end one first of all. This is the easiest command, /scoreboard players, because we're going to update the scoreboard of a player. Add, because we're going to add a certain amount to a certain scoreboard. Add at P, that's just the nearest player. You can change this if you want to. You can add parameters in here, like you might want a certain player who is within 10 blocks, or who is outside of 100 blocks. Oh, RM equals, not RM minus. Who is outside of 100 blocks, you might want to use the dx, dy, dz, level, L equals, whatever you want to put in there, doesn't really matter. Add at P, then what you've chosen. So counter A for me, and you can do the same as that if you want to keep it simple, or you can choose a different name, doesn't really matter. Have I done this in the wrong order? So scoreboard players, add at P, counter. Oh yeah, sorry, 1. That's kind of important. Don't know if I could forget that. Whoops, that's not right. And the last thing? No, not last thing. So then you want to decide what order you want your commands to go in. So I'm going to do this one first, right here, then this one, then this one, then this one. Just because that makes sense to me, but it doesn't really matter what order you do the commands in. So in here, you're going to put execute at P. Now this is where the magic comes in, because this is what actually sequences the commands. Score underscore counter A. I'm just going to put an A at the back of here. Just ignore that. That's just to stop the command from running. Actually, I could probably do this a better way. I'm gonna stop this command from running by putting an A at the beginning, and I'm gonna reset that scoreboard because I bet it's really low, really high. Sorry. Players set at P counter A to 0. Okay, set that back to 0. I don't want that ticking off into the distance. Counter A underscore min equals. Let's say after 10 ticks, the first one. We want the first one to fire perhaps after 10 ticks after it's been activated. So you want to do score underscore counter A underscore min equals 10, score underscore counter A equals 10. Okay, tilde, because that's part of the execute command still. We're still in the execute command here. Nothing else has been added except the execute command. So executing at any player who's exactly 10. They must be maximum of 10, minimum of 10, so that's exactly 10. We're going to execute what command? Well, we're going to execute title. Doesn't really matter what you put here, that's where the freedom comes in. Title at P, title text 1. And that's all we're going to put in there. I think that should actually work. I should probably test this first. I haven't done any testing beforehand, so I'm going to test this right now. I think that's how you do it. Yeah, there we go. It's just boring white because you know we're trying to save on time here. So that's scoreboard. So then you want to come to your second one, and oh, not scoreboard. Sorry, wrong one. Execute at P, who's score underscore. Choose the same name again. Counter A underscore min, and then you want to add basically add on from the last one. So this has been 10. Then we want the next one to occur after another 10 ticks. Actually, maybe you should do it in seconds. A useful fact is that 20 ticks is 1 second. 20 command block, 20 game ticks is 1 second. 10 redstone ticks is 1 second. I really don't want to have got that wrong then. I'll put an annotation on the screen if I have done. Min equals 40. So you can see now we've gone from 20 to 40. That should be 2 seconds, and that's 1 second. Actually, no, let's do a countdown instead. That's probably more. Okay, so I've now added in the 2 commands just to run that through one more time, just the once more. I think I did it in a different order that I was supposed to. Yeah, I did. Whoops. It doesn't really matter. So it now goes in this order. We got this one that executes at 20 ticks. And remember, every tick, we're adding 1 to counter A. So basically, every time it runs, it's adding 1 to counter A. And that's going to fire at 20. This one's going to fire 20 ticks later. At 40, this one's going to fire a further 20 ticks further at 60, and this one 20 ticks later, this one's going to fire at 80. And you can see the varying, it goes from 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, you could have any command you want. You could have it happening over minutes if you wanted to. If you want to calculate exactly how many ticks there are in 5 minutes, which would be 1,200 if you wanted to know that. There it is. The final command is kind of important. That is the one that actually stops it. I mean, you can't have it running forever, otherwise then you'll never activate it again, will you? I mean, like, if you just run it once, and it's like it's stuck then, isn't it? You need to stop it somehow, otherwise it's just going to continuously keep adding 1 to counter A. You don't want it to do that, because you want to be able to run it again and again and again, right? If you do want it to do that, for whatever bizarre reason, you know, there comes a need for any kind of contraption in command block creations, trust me. So if you do need to do that, then just leave this one out. But if you want to be able to run this more than once, then follow along. Again, we're going to do execute at P, score underscore counter. Of course, this will be whatever name you've chosen. Counter A underscore min equals. Right. Okay. So you could do it at 80, but just to be safe, in case the game lags out or something, I'm going to do it 81. So at 81 it's going to stop. using the command, we're going to stop this at exactly 81 ticks. Score underscore counter a equals 81. The command we're going to use is fairly simple. We're just going to fill. No, we don't need to fill. We just need to set block. We're going to set block this block here, this one, to redstone block. Now, what that does is it stops this from working. Watch what happens if I do this. Yeah. If it's already been powered, then it can't be powered by anything else. If I try to power this now, it's not going to work. So if I put a redstone block here permanently, that stops the clock, right? Watch again. As soon as I press the redstone block, it can no longer receive updates and it stops. So the only command we're going to put in here is set block positive Z, positive 1, 2, 3, 4, positive 4. So that's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's right. Set block tilde tilde tilde. That's X, Y, Z. Positive 4 to be redstone underscore block. And of course, it wouldn't work at all unless we could reset it. So we want to be able to get rid of that as soon as possible, so it's not in the way. Because you know you want to be able to press this again. If you got a redstone block stuck there, then you're never going to be able to press it again, are you? So what we want is set block tilde tilde -1 tilde to be just to make sure it works every time. And then the final command you would use, that's this done. So this will be like a section of its own. And then any time you want to use that command, all you're gonna do, you're gonna record this coordinate here. So that's -74765. I'm just gonna write it down in the chat. -74765. Oh, what was the other bit? -523. -523. Okay, I'm just going to copy and paste that. Now whenever you want to use this command block contraption, actually I'm just going to leave it off for now, there it's off. As soon as you want to turn it on, all you're going to do is do /set block, those coordinates, redstone block. And you can see now, this one tiny command represents the ordering of the 1, 2, 3, 4 in that order. So whenever you run that command, watch what happens. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Let's get rid of that, and just to be absolutely certain this should all work, I'm going to reset the scoreboard. You shouldn't need to do any of this once it's set up, by the way. I'm just being absolutely certain. 4, 2, 1. Something got wrong? Did I do something wrong? 4, 3. Have I missed something? I'm just gonna leave it there. I'm gonna take a quick look at what I've done. It's probably, as always with debugging in command blocks, it's usually a really minor error or a spelling mistake usually. I'm just gonna find that and I'll be back. Okay, so it didn't take too long to find. Of course, it is. I didn't leave a space here, which is kind of critical. So put the space in there. If you did in fact copy that for some reason, then that was in fact a mistake. You do need to put the space there. And one thing I did notice about here, which is kind of important, that I overlooked a bit. I just completely forgot to put it in. You don't put tilde 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 here on the top right one where you're setting block the redstone block at tilde 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 4. For you, it could be 5. It depends. It really depends on how many command blocks you have. You need to figure out for yourself how many blocks to the left it is before you reach this space here, because this space you want to be going to. For me it's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For you it could be different because you might not have this many commands. You might have just 2 or 7. I don't know. You need to count it for yourself and figure out how many blocks away this one is. This block next to it. But what you do need to do as well is these 3 coordinates immediately after execute command. So you've got execute RP at 81, as soon as the player reaches 81, you need to replace these with the coordinates of the block that you're using, because otherwise it will just set it happened over here, right? I was standing here, it set blocks of redstone block relative of the player, so like I was standing here and it set it 4 blocks in that direction. That's not what we want. We want it to be 4 blocks relative of this coordinate here. So for me that is -74766 -526. -74766 -526. And I've done that wrong because there's no space. 74766 -526 -526. Yep, there we go, that should work. Okay, so final test. I should probably just reset this. To reset it manually, you just got to place your block here and it will reset just like that. And of course you also want to set your counter back to 0. Just if you want to reset it manually, that's how you do it. Okay, now this should work. This should work. 4, 3, 2, 1. And you see it automatically turns off itself. So I can actually run that again now. That's the beauty of it. Sorry, I forgot something again. I know, I'm sorry. Please don't kill me. In this one as well, you need to do scoreboard players set at P and then the name of your scoreboard, counter A to 0. That should do the trick. Okay, so having that there, it should just reset the whole thing back to 0. Let's try that one more time. That's not right, sorry, you need to reset it now. All you need to do is just press this here. You don't need to do anything in the chat bar, because that's done for you in here, I forget. That needs to be there, it's kind of important. And make sure, when you put this here, don't put it here, because then you'll be running it with this redstone block here, won't you? Just make sure it's away from all the other redstone blocks. 4, 3, 2, 1. There we go, that's it, that's how you do it, and it should work for the second time as well. 4, 3, 2, 1. Another important thing to mention is, here you can have a button input, lever input, it doesn't matter. Just as long as it sets anything at all that will set block a redstone block here is acceptable. Just in between these two fill blocks here. Now remember, you can add as many commands to this as you want. You can mess around with these numbers here. You can add multiple parameters. You could have another parameter, so like is counter on parameter, so like you could switch it on and off depending on whether the player decided to use the counter. I don't know, lots of ideas you could use for this. Expand it, play with it, run for yourself, see what you can invent, and of course message the channel, the command block description. What am I talking about? The comment section. Message me with your command block creations of your own in the description, and I'll be happy to read those. And yeah, play around with this for yourself. It's pretty cool. It's basically the bread and butter of 1.8 command blocks. Just one thing I do want to mention though is I don't claim to have made this myself. I came up with it myself, but I probably am not the only person to have done that. I don't want to have anyone saying, "Oh, you didn't do this first. This guy, Simply Sark, or some other guys did this first," you know. Because I don't claim to have done it first. I just claim to have come up with it myself. Not first, but I didn't copy this of anyone else. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, that is in fact the end of the video. Should I do the end somewhere else? I'm gonna do the end over there. In fact, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. Just gotta switch it on. But that is in fact the end of the video. If you did enjoy, please be sure to leave a like. If you have any suggestions for this brand new world, don't ask me what happened to the other one, because I'm not really sure in fact. I'm excited for the new world and all, but I guess I'll kind of miss the old one. I lost it completely. Don't ask me how. Anyway, that is the end of the video. If you have any suggestions for this completely new world, 1.8 redstone, new horizons and all that, then be sure to leave them in the comment section below. Also, what did you make with this contraption? What did you make of your own? Put that in the comment section below too, and if you really want to, subscribe. But apart from that, this has been the Redstone Ninja, and my work is done here.